Most martial arts schools struggle to pass $200,000 in annual revenue. In this video, I'll share the exact systems that scaled KOMA Martial Arts into a 7-figure establishment with 3 locations. These aren't theories, this is what we use daily inside KOMA Martial Arts. We'll cover retention, staff development, lead generation, and premium positioning. Let's start with one of the most important systems that you must have in your martial arts studio: retention, and specifically a student retention process. Yes, a process is very much important because it is the only way that you can have predictable results. So for us, our process is very simple. As soon as a student is gone for 6 days or longer, we call them. We email them, we text them, we knock on their door, just kidding, but we reach out to them. Why is this important? First, it lets them know that we've noticed that they're gone. Why is that important? Because that's the only way that they feel cared. That's the only way that they feel cared for. So if we are not letting them know that we've noticed that they've been gone, they are just gonna feel like they're another number, just another student. But it's very important for us that as soon as they're gone, on that day 7, we are reaching out. We're seeing if everything is okay, or if there's a problem, or what can we do to fix that problem. That's why you have to make sure this is solidly in place in your studio, or I promise you, you're gonna have a wide open back door. New students are gonna be coming in, but then as soon as they come in, shortly after, they're going to be leaving out the back door. So you gotta have that student retention process. Second, this is so important, and we'll get into this also later. Your classes and the class experience have to be incredible. Well, how is that gonna happen? You must have first a rich curriculum that is revolving around helping that student stay engaged for a long period of time. It can't just be some generic curriculum that you somehow got from another studio, or maybe you just got it from your master. It might be a good curriculum, but is it matching the age group? Is it tailoring to the needs of the student? And then the other part of the mat experience is going to revolve around the performance of the instructor. That instructor must be incredible. They must be capable. They must be confident. They must be able to speak loud enough, fast enough, and with energy and passion. If they can't do that, it doesn't matter what system you put in your business, you're gonna struggle with retention. Your students are gonna quit. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that we have this down perfectly. This is a daily battle. This is something that I've struggled with for it's been almost 20 years. Because, as the owner, you feel like, oh, I can do this, I can teach, I'm good at teaching, da-da-da-da. Now, can you help your staff, your leadership team, your instructors teach like you? Good luck. That is very difficult. But the good news is we are getting closer here. And I have put together many different things, such as a video curriculum, which goes into the next thing, by the way. The next system is going to be staff development. And that starts with the instructor curriculum, because we were talking about the student curriculum. Now we're talking about the instructor curriculum. What is that? Well, it's how to teach. How does your studio ensure that all the classes are going to be consistent in the experience regardless of who is teaching? That's why I had to spend hours upon hours building this curriculum. Not even hours, I'd say months, years, and it's still in development now. But it's been almost 20 years, like I said. It's taken a long time, and I still add things, take away things, refine things, make them more simple. But you gotta have a solid instructor curriculum, or it's a flip of a coin of what that experience is gonna be when you throw in some instructor onto the mats. And hopefully you're training them before they do that, because if you don't, then who knows what's gonna happen. Another important part of staff development are class assessments. This is when you record one of your instructor's classes, and then you give them feedback. So I've invested a lot of money into our camera systems, not only for liability reasons, but also so that we can quickly provide class assessments. So we'll download the footage, and then I will actually mic myself up and I'll record myself giving feedback to the instructor on how they could have had a better class, how they could have provided a better experience to the students. And doing this over and over and over again is how that instructor is going to become a premium instructor. By the way, if you ever want us to do this for you, whether it be one of your instructors or yourself, then reach out. We do provide that service. Anyways, feedback is the only way we get better, right? Well, I firmly believe that feedback needs to be directly connected to the action, or we just forget. So you could watch your instructor's class, that's fine, that works, but I don't think it's as good as when you have detailed feedback based on an exact moment in that class recording. So class assessments, you gotta do those. And then we do daily trainings, especially with our full-time instructors, and weekly trainings multiple times a week for our part-timers. They gotta be fed every single week. You can't just have one of your students become an instructor and then they just go there to die. Now, of course, I'm not meaning like actually die, but meaning they just die as a student. They stop learning. This happens so often, right? You become a black belt, you become a 4th degree black belt, 5th, whatever, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm just gonna come in, teach, leave, and repeat. How are you getting better? How are you getting fed? And specifically, how are your instructors getting fed? This is so important. You gotta have consistent trainings with your staff, and specifically with your instructors. And P.S., this also includes your front desk staff. Who's answering your phones? Oh my goodness, this is so common. It wasn't even at a martial arts studio, I remember this. I called a business, and I promise you, this was the worst person to be on the phone. Not only did they not talk loud enough, they actually were like angry. Like I'm bothering them in the middle of a nap, even though they're getting paid to answer the phone. Make sure the person who's answering your phone is incredible on the phone. They gotta be positive, speak loud enough, and most importantly, they have the answers. How annoying is it when you call a company and then you have to be passed off 15 times before you get an answer? Don't be that business, because guess what? That's not a premium business. And you're watching this video because you want to become a premium business. You don't want to be an average studio. Train your staff, especially your front desk. That also includes whenever they are talking to parents at the front desk. Oh my goodness. So many times the face-to-face conversations, interactions are terrible because the staff member either is not that person who should be at the front desk as the first person the customer sees. And second, they don't want to be there. They don't like doing that. And third, they weren't trained. Train your staff. And the final system you must have is lead generation. Now, this is a moving target. I'll be very honest with you guys. This is not easy, and it's always changing, but I've learned over the years, don't overthink it. The first thing you've got to do is just go above and beyond with your students and parents. So their experience is so amazing that they just have to tell their friends. But when you're average, you're not going to get any referrals, because guess what? Their social credit is on the line. When they refer a friend to a business, their reputation, their personal reputation is on the line. So you don't want to be that business where a person's like, I don't know if I'm going to put my neck on the line by referring them to that business because I don't know how they're going to be treated. You got to be like the complete opposite. Be such an amazing business that they feel like their social credit goes up when they refer their friend to you, because they know you're going to take care of them. They know you're going to solve their problem. So first and foremost, go above and beyond for your students and parents. Do the little things. One of the things that we do is make little videos for every single student on their birthday that we send them out. And then we're gonna actually expand on that and do handwritten cards and all these other things, give them a gift card. So go above and beyond. Second is serve your local school. I'm not saying to go there and try to teach classes so then you can try to get new students. That might work. I've tried it. The only problem that I have with that is They're not necessarily in the market right now, but I've heard of people that have much success with this. I haven't yet. Maybe there's a way, maybe I need to learn that, but I've actually taken the approach of just trying to serve our local school district. I was the president of the board for the educational foundation for our local school district, and I did that for 8 years. Guess what I started doing for them? Taking photos. So I know how to take professional photos, video editing, because I do all this stuff, but that's how I started with them, is by serving them, and then they asked me eventually, a couple of years down the road, to become the president. This is how you get into your community, is by serving first. Don't just try to take. You got to serve as well. Start with serving at least. Start with serving. And then also you need to make sure you are focusing on producing high quality content that is educational. You want to be a source for parents to come to if they need an answer for a problem or a question. You want to produce that content that is not just sales focused. So I think overall, I just realized this whole lead generation thing is called serve. Don't just be a taker. You got to serve first. Serve. And then if you want to become a premium brand and position yourself as premium, the first thing you got to do is clean up your studio. No clutter. Don't have random things out in the open for the public to see. Everything must have a purpose. Everything must be intentional. You should never have something out that you cannot explain to me why you have it out there. I try to hide as much things as possible. I want it clean, clutter-free, and simple. Put that stuff away. If it doesn't serve a purpose, get it out of view from the public, because it's going to take your brand and drop it down to average or below average. You're looking for premium, start with removing the clutter. Keep your studio as clean as humanly possible. Make it smell nice. Make those bathrooms sparkling clean, because guess what? A lot of our customers are who? Moms. Moms don't want to go into a stinky, dirty bathroom. So make sure you hyper-focus on your bathrooms. Hyper-focus on the smell. Now, don't go overboard on the smell, because that could also backfire. For us specifically, we like modern professional design. We want that Apple look. That's my goal, by the way, to make the KOMA or Co-Martial Arts Studio like the Apple of martial arts studios. That's the goal. Don't know if I'll ever get it, but that's the goal. But anyways, modern and professional is always what we're looking for. Don't make it cheesy. Don't make the colors clash, such as like green walls with red and blue mats and cartoon characters and just random things. Sometimes I'll see like random Asian things on the wall. I'm like, that's just so obvious. Like, yeah, I know we teach martial arts and it's from Asia, but you don't have to go overboard on the, Asian decoration. We get it. Subtle is what we're looking for here. All the details need to be accounted for. Every tiny little detail. Again, it needs to have a purpose. It needs to have some sort of intention behind it. Your staff, they must be speaking professionally. They don't say yeah. They don't say any slang words. They say yes sir, yes ma'am, just like we do in martial arts. This has to be really pushed and pressed upon with your staff. They need to present themselves very professionally. What are they wearing? T-shirt and jeans? That's not premium. You got to think about all this stuff all the way through. Make it well thought out. Every tiny little thing the customer sees, the parent sees, you already thought about it. Again, the attire, is it professional? I mean, I always think go way more formal than you'd think that you think you need to do. Because it's always better to be like too formal than not formal enough. Even the print items that you give out, the marketing material. Did you use clip art? Did you use Microsoft Word to design it? Did you design it? Are you a designer? No? Get a professional to do it. Go on Upwork. All of these little things matter. What does it look like? If it doesn't look premium, and for us modern and clean and all that, all of this, I want you to think about this. When you have a dirty sock on the floor, when your class schedule looks like your kindergartner made it, guess what happens? Your rate went from $199 to $189. Oh, there's a sock, $179. It stinks like dirty feet, $159. The bathroom is disgusting, $139. You literally are just chopping away at the value of your business. Every tiny little detail needs to be accounted for. Your website. Oh my goodness, I can go on and on about this, but this is the first impression. When your lead or when that parent wants to learn more about you, what do? They go to your website. Does it look like it was just done in an hour, like Wix, using Wix or Squarespace? I mean, you can actually make great looking websites, but did you do it and you don't have any idea how to do design? Then you can't expect to have a premium looking website. Hire somebody who knows how to do that really well. That's their job. That's what they're good at. You got to invest in your business if you want to take it to the premium level. We've tested these in real studios, not just on paper. You might be thinking, yeah, you did all this with your main studio, but what about your other locations? Here's the thing. We actually charge the exact same at all three of our locations that are in different areas. Now, our main one is bigger because it's been around for 20 years, but our second one is actually doing really well. And again, same systems, same rates. The third one we just opened in January. We just surpassed our sales or revenue target with actually less students. So we're behind on student count, but we've gotten higher than we expected on our revenue. So think about that. That to me is telling us that this is more of a premium brand rather than trying to get as many students at $100 each. And for us, our goal is a premium experience that people are willing to pay a premium amount for. You might be thinking your studio is too small or even too complex to apply any of these systems that we've put into our studios, but I'm here to tell you that it doesn't matter how small, how complex. These are just solid principles, solid systems that you can apply to your own business. If you want to shortcut years of trial and error, join my Facebook community for martial arts school owners where I share the systems we use to take our brand to the premium level.